Hi, my name is Wes Lawler. I work here in the service department at East Coast Yacht Sales. The purpose of this video is to show you the locations of systems, through holes and drains on board this Axopar 37 cross cabin wet bar model. So let's go ahead and take a look. So starting with the through holes and drains on the starboard side of the boat, here we have the anchor locker drain. Any water that collects inside the anchor locker will drain out here. Down here is the bow thruster. At the bottom of the boat, we have a through hole for direct overboard discharge. Here we have the forward bilge pump drain. Right next to that is the holding tank vent. This is the Webasto diesel heater exhaust, the aft bilge pump drain, and the overflow drain for the live well. Under the hull, below the water line, we have the raw water fed intake for the live well. And here's the aft sling mark for hoisting the boat either in a travel lift or a crane. Moving on to the port side of the boat, starting from the bow to the stern, we have the freshwater tank vent. Below the water line, we have the transducer. Here we have the sub pump through hole for the sink and shower. Here we have the fuel tank vent. Right next to this, that is the diesel tank vent for the Webasto heater. Below that is the sink drain for the wet bar. And all the way aft is the manual bilge pump drain. Starting at the bow of the boat, we'll show you the systems on board the boat. Here we have the anchor locker, the windlass switch, windlass breaker. This is the fresh water tank fill, shore power connection, the AC panel, and the hot water tank. Just aft of the anchor locker, we have a nice storage seat. Just aft of that is the gullwing door. As you're walking aft, there's this nice gutter system which also doubles as a handrail. So moving aft to the stern of the boat, we have the location of the wet bar sink, and the wet bar cooler. Over on the port side of the boat, we have the diesel fill for the Webasto heater. This is a good line and fender locker. Inside the locker, you have access to the washdown hose and your manual bilge pump. Moving over to the starboard side of the stern of the boat, we have the live well and live well switch. Back here we have the two lazarette hatches, which you get a fair amount of storage back here. This also gives you access to the battery compartment. Right next to that, on the starboard side of the storage space, this gives you access to the seacock for the live well. And when you're closing these hatches, be careful not to lose a toe. Here at the helm station, this gives you access to your SIMRAD screens. These are information displays, vessel view display. This is the bow thruster joystick switch, your trim tab switch. To the right of the helm wheel, you have the JPO joystick, throttle control. Here's the Webasto heater display, two ignition keys, and the VHF radio. In this compartment, underneath the two helm seats, this gives you access to your fuel tank and the two engine fuel shutoffs, as well as the two engine primary fuel filters. Inside the wheelhouse, underneath the helm seat, you have a refrigerator. Just after that helm seat is a folding table. You also have storage underneath this center seat that folds up. And on the starboard settee, this cushion also lifts up and there's more storage under here. Behind the starboard helm seat, there's a small hatch with a little bit more storage. Going down below the companionway hatch, the release button's right here. Down here we have the toilet compartment with the toilet and a sink right next to it. Over here we have the shower. Just open up this hatch and this gives you access to your shower. Under here, under this hatch, gives you access to the sub pump, which the shower and sink drain into this sub pump and then drain overboard. So located in the toilet compartment, just above the sink, is the breaker panel. This gives you access to all the breakers of all the systems on board the boat. Below that is the SD card reader for your Simrad chart plotter. And right next to that is the SmartCraft diagnostics port for your Mercury engines. So moving forward from the head compartment, I'll show you the systems in the V-berth. You remove these two cushions, starting all the way up forward. This gives you access to the bow thruster and windlass battery. This is the battery switch for the bow thruster and windlass. Your side power bow thruster motor, fresh water tank, hot water manifold, cold water manifold, fresh water pump. This is the Precision 9 compass for JPO. Over on the starboard side of the locker, we've got the side power remote control receiver for the windlass remote and side power remote. And last but not least, we've got the reservoir for the windshield washer fluid. Just behind the V-berth bunk, we have two cabinets for storage. Just below the starboard going door, if you remove this cushion, behind this hatch, this gives you access to your macerator pump for your holding tank, direct overboard discharge. That concludes our video for today. I hope you enjoyed watching. If you'd like to see more educational videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel at East Coast Yacht Sales.